I'm Ed Cohen. I'm in the Tritek Engineering Group, and I'll be discussing our software and our flat sorter today. You've seen our system already. This system will be showing outgoing mail, and I also will get into the processing of how the incoming mail works. I have a PhD in computer science focused on image processing. For my doctoral thesis, I worked on a product to do handwritten reading for the U.S. Postal Service. So we have a lot of experience, over 20 years of experience in that, and we've used a lot of technology in our system today. For our outgoing machine, we will process it in a similar manner as the incoming. On this test, we'll be running flats mail, mass test mail. And first off, it'll be letter mail. On this system, we'll be reading the address and determining the delivery point barcode and spraying that on the piece. The system is processing all that as it's going along. Then intermixed, I could process this way, but I'll be running a flats piece as well, and then we can look at the recognition results of that. Here, the flats piece went through. We located the address properly. We located the address there. Then we look at the address and we can see our OCR results where we read it perfectly. And then at that point, we're able to pass that information on to the DRS system to do a correct delivery point barcode assignment. Now I'd like to talk about more details of how the incoming software works. We've shown the outgoing system. The inbound system is a bit more sophisticated. The same OCR technology we use to do address block location, but we can locate addresses in any orientation, and then we can use that information to look up the name or department to find the result. So let me run some pieces down. The first piece will be a magazine with text on it. The printing is dot matrix. It's not very well printed. But we'll run that down the system. And here we can see the system. We take a picture of the whole mail piece at 300 DPI. We locate the address block. We properly orient it. At that point, then we have our OCR results. Here is a picture of the image, and in the green is the actual OCR results of that. We recognize this image nearly perfectly. And then the final step is to take that information and perform a lookup. So we're looking for names. We find some names that aren't quite the right name in the top section. But we eventually get down to Cohen. We find Cohen, and there's looks about 30, 40 names in there. Based on Cohen, then we try to map on the first name, which is Edward, and we find Edward Cohen. There's only one match to Edward Cohen, and so from there we're able to determine the correct mail piece. Now I'd like to talk about the heart of the inbound processing, which is the rules editors. So taking the names for inbound processing, we can base it on names or departments or much other information that's in the mail piece. The best way to give you an example of how the rules work, and we can see on the screen here, here's a typical rule. It has multiple phrases. It requires the word real estate is someplace on the mail piece in the address, 1585 Broadway, and 37. This particular part rule is designed so that mail going to the real estate department on the 37th floor of 1585 Broadway will go to the research department. Now, there can be aliases, because sometimes Broadway is not always written Broadway. We can see 1585 Broad, or the OCR might be imperfect, so 1S8S would be would match the 1585. Also, Broadway could be abbreviated B/way. 37 could be 37th floor, floor 37, 37th floor. Could have a bunch of abbreviations as well. So we take in all those different combinations, and we're able to use that to search our rules very well. This is all in conjunction with the names database. So we can have some rules can be applied before the names, some rules can be applied after the names. We can specify that rules only apply to certain lines or certain words in the address. And all these tools together give us a very powerful system for identifying where the mail should go. So now we're running the Flat sorter will run letters and flats intermixed. The system can handle letters and flats just like the dual stacker bins. The dual stacker machine is designed for shorter spaces and has a lot of bins on it. This machine is for more heavy-duty processing and has 30 tubs in it in a single line configuration.